Welcome to bankersbridge.com. This is Karthik Gupta. Today I am going to teach you regarding the simple interest. As the name indicates, simple interest is very simple. Definitely our question will be there from the simple interest in each and every exam, whether it may be probationary officer, sectional officer, IBPS clerical or IBPS PO, mains, prelims, whatever it may be, definitely a question will be there from the simple interest. In the simple interest, the main thing what we have to study is regarding the principal amount, regarding the rate of interest, regarding the time period and the total amount. For example, you are going to deposit rupees 100 in a bank for 2 years or 3 years. Consider you are going to deposit rupees 100 in a bank for 3 years at a rate of interest of 10% per annum. You are going to deposit rupees 100 in a bank, so the deposited amount or the invested amount or the amount what you have taken as a loan or the amount what you have given as a loan, that amount is treated as the principal amount. Here we have taken the principal amount as rupees 100. Next, the rate of interest. The rate of interest is 10% per annum. Usually the rate of interest is going to be calculated per annum itself, means per annum you are going to give 10% interest. So here the rate of interest is 10% per annum. The next one is the time period. Time period, the interest is calculated for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. Sometimes you are going to calculate the interest amount for months. Sometimes you are going to calculate the same interest amount for days. So here normally I am taking the time period for 3 years. So for 100 rupees you are going to get 10% interest per annum. Means for 100 the 10% amount is 10 rupees. So the first year interest what you are getting is 10 rupees, that is first year interest. So after first year the amount what you are going to get is rupees 110, means the 100 rupees the amount what you have deposited, along with that the interest amount what you are getting, that is 10 rupees. Altogether you are getting rupees 110, that is 1 year total amount. This total amount contains both the principal amount and the simple interest amount. So each and every year the total amount changes, means the each and every year the interest amount is going to be adds on. For the second year the same 10% interest you are going to be calculated, the same 10% interest is calculated on the principal amount only, but in the compound interest the methodology is different. But here on the principal amount itself you have to calculate the 10%. Here the principal amount is rupees 100, so on 100 itself you have to calculate the 10% interest for the second year also. So once again the interest amount will be rupees 10 for the second year. So the second year interest 10 rupees. So the total amount will be 120 rupees after 2 years. After 2 years the total amount will be 120 rupees. So similarly the same procedure, third year 10% again on the principal amount. So 10 rupees interest you have to add. So ultimately you are going to get rupees 130 at the end of the day. So total amount is rupees 130 after 3 years. So here the total amount contains principal plus SI, where principal amount is rupees 100 and the simple interest is rupees 30 for 3 years. So generally we use the formula to calculate the simple interest. So the formula what we use to calculate the simple interest is SI is equal to P into T into R whole divided by 100. So P means principal amount, T means time period, R means rate of interest whole divided by 100. One thing you have to remember while calculating, the unit of time period as well as the rate of interest should be same. That is, the rate of interest you are going to calculate per annum, that is per year. The time period also it should be per year only. For example 3 years, yes the time period is same, but for 5 months the months has to be converted into years. So in the coming problems let us discuss those things. So problem number 1, find the simple interest on rupees 200 for 5 years at 6% per annum. So in the question they have given the principal amount as rupees 200. Next, the time period they have given as 5 years and the rate of interest they have given as 6%. So, the formula is SI is equal to P into T into R whole divided by 100. P into T into R whole divided by 100, where P is the principal amount, T is the time period and R is the rate of interest. So, according to the notations, you substitute the values. SI is equal to P, that is 200, time period, that is 5 years, and the rate of percent is 6 whole divided by 100. So, you cancel the 2 zeros in the denominator as well as in the numerator. So, 6 into 5 30 into 2 60. So, this is the normal procedure where everybody follows. You have one more technique, the shortcut technique, come through the concept where you can save a lot of time. The concept says each and every year you have to calculate the 6% on the principal amount. So, in the first year you are going to calculate 6% on the principal amount. So, the first year the 6%, next in the second year 6%, next in the third year you are going to calculate 6%, like that for all the 5 years you have to calculate the 6%. So, the fourth 6% and for the fifth you have to calculate the 6%. So, altogether you are getting 30%. So, instead of using formula you come through this concept. So, per year for the first year you have to calculate 6%, like that you have to calculate for 5 years. So, you multiply it by 5, you will get 30%. So, 6% into 5 years, 30% altogether. So, directly you calculate 30% on the principal amount, that is 30% of 200. So, 10% into 3, orally you have to do 30%. So, these things we have already discussed in the percentages. So, 10% into 3, 10% is 20, 20 into 3, so which is equal to 60. So, this is the simple interest. Orally you can solve. Let me repeat again. 6% for 5 years, 6 5s are 30, 30% you have to calculate on the principal amount, 30%, 10% into 3, 10% is 20 on 200, 20 into 3, 60. So, your simple interest is 60. So, this methodology if you apply, you can save a lot of time, and without using any paper and pencil you can solve the problem orally. Problem number 2. The simple interest on rupees 5,000 at 5% per annum for 5 years will be. So, it is very similar to the previous one whatever we have discussed. So, 5% for 5 years. So, that is 5% into 5, 5% into 5 years, which is equal to 25%, means 25% on the principal amount you have to calculate. If you calculate, you will get the interest amount. So, 25% on the principal amount, that is 5,000, 25% of 5,000. 25% means it is nothing but 1/4. We have discussed these things in the percentages. So, 1/4 of 5,000. So, 1/4 of 5,000. So, if you solve, you will get 1250. So, 25% of 5,000, that is 1/4 of 5,000, which is equal to 1250. If you apply the formula, it simply kills the time. So, 5% into 5 years, which is equal to 25%, that is one short calculation. 25% of 5,000, that is 1/4 of 5,000, which is equal to 1250. Next, come to problem number 3. A sum at simple interest of 4% per annum amounts to rupees 3120 in 5 years. Find the sum. It is nothing but we have to calculate the principal amount. So, a sum at simple interest of 4% per annum, rate of percent is 4 and total amount is 3120 in 5 years. So, they have given the total amount. So, the total amount is nothing but total amount is equal to principal amount plus simple interest. Principal amount plus simple interest. So, find the sum. We have to calculate the principal amount. So, SI is equal to, if we go with the general method, SI is equal to P into T into R whole divided by 100. So, I do not know SI, I do not know the principal amount, but I know the total amount. So in the place of SI, I can write, in the place of SI, I can write total amount minus principal amount. In the place of SI, total amount minus principal amount I can write. So total amount minus principal amount is nothing but 3120 minus principal amount is equal to P into time period, that is 5 years, and the rate of interest is 4% divided by 100. So in the next step, 3120 minus P is equal to 5 fours are 20, 20P whole divided by 100. See, simply you note down the time, how much time it requires to solve this type of problem if you follow the general method. So 21s are 20 and 25s are 100. So next, cross multiplication, 3120 minus P into 5 is equal to P. So next, 5 zeros are 0, 5 2s are 10, 5 1s are 5 plus 1 6, 5 3s are 15. 15,600 minus 5P is equal to P is equal to P. Next, 15,600 is equal to minus 5P plus P. So minus 5P is transferred towards the right side, plus 5P plus 5P plus the old P, altogether 6P. So 6P is equal to 15,600. So principal amount is equal to 15,600 by 6. So 6 2s are 12, 6 6s are 36, 2,600 is the principal amount. Note down the time, how much time it is required to solve in the general method. Let us discuss the shortcut method. So 5 years, 4% is the rate of interest. So 5 years into 4%. Let me do the shortcut. 5% into 4 years. 5% into 4 years, which is equal to 20%. So that is 20% on the principal amount you have to calculate the rate of interest. So they have given the total amount. Total amount is equal to again principal amount plus simple interest. So simple interest, total amount, the amount what they have given is 3120, 3120. So P plus, in the place of SI we can write 20% P, we can write 20% P. So P plus 20% P, the single P is nothing but the 100% P, the complete principal amount we are going to take. So 100% P, 100% P. So this P is nothing but 100% P, 100% P. So 100% P plus 20% P, altogether 120% P, altogether 120% P. So if you want to calculate the principal amount, so 120 whole divided by 100 into P is equal to 3120. So cancels. Principal amount is equal to 3120 into 10 whole divided by 12. If you simplify this one, you will get 2,600 as the principal amount. Here you can save a lot of time. One more method is there, that is coming through option, but it takes time. So this method is very much suitable for these type of questions. Here they are going to give you the total amount, you don't know the simple interest, you don't know the principal amount, only thing is you know the rate of interest as well as the time period. So based on this you have to calculate each and everything. If you go with the general method, it kills time as well as it kills space. Here space management is also very important along with the time management. So go with this type of concept. 5% into 4 years, that is 20%, that has to be calculated on the principal amount. So principal amount plus simple interest is equal to total amount, 3120 is equal to principal amount plus 20% on principal amount. The single P is nothing but the 100% principal amount plus 20%, 120% P is equal to 3120. So after simplification you are going to end up with 2,600, that is the principal amount. Okay, so let us go for the next problem. Find the simple interest on rupees 88,000 at 16 2/3% per annum for 9 months. See here, till now, whatever the problem we have discussed, that is for years, and the rate percent was a whole number, it was not a fraction. But in this case, they have given the fraction 16.2/3% per annum, that too for 9 months. So here the best feasible method is go along with the formula. The shortcut doesn't work properly here, it takes too much time for the calculations. So go for the formula. So rate of percent 16.2/3. So principal amount 88,000. Next, rate of interest, that is 16.2/3 percentage. If you convert this mixed fraction into improper fraction, 16 into 3, 48 plus 2, 50/3 percentage, 50/3 percentage, and the time period is for 9 months. In the introduction part itself, I had told you, if the time period is for months or for the days, you have to convert these things for years. So 9 months, if you want to convert these things into years, means 9 months divided by 12. So per year 12 months are there, so 9 months divided by 12. So go with the formula. The formula is SI is equal to principal amount, that is 88,000, into rate percent, that is 50/3, into time period, that is 9/12, whole divided by 100, whole divided by 100, whole divided by 100. So you simplify this one, 2 zeros get cancels, 3 3s are 9, next 3 4s are 12. So you are going to end up with 880 into 50 whole divided by 4. So 4 2s are 8, 4 2s are 8, 0. So 220 into 50 you got. So 5 2s are 10, 1 carry over, 5 2s are 10 plus 1, 11. So 110, 2 zeros. So the simple interest is 11,000. So in your question, it is option B. So the simple interest is 11,000. So in this type of questions, directly you go with the formula, it saves a lot of time, because 50/3 into 9/12 you have to multiply. Later on you have to calculate on 88,000. Normally it takes same time if you go with the shortcut as well as if you go with the general method. So here the simple interest is rupees 11,000. Okay, so let us go for next question.